This week on Coyote Country, follow me along as I head out with my Fox Pro collar in hand and try to outwit the Wiley coyotes from the Lakeland farm region of Alberta. I can't emphasize enough when I say coyote hunting has become my new passion. Well, some folks, like my wife, might even say a whole new obsession. But with local bounties and decent fur prices, well, let's just say that I might know someone that could lend out a helping hand. If you like seeing coyotes up close and personal, better yet, if you like awesome one-shot drop smackdowns, then this is the episode for you. We hope this is an episode you'll enjoy. So we're getting ready to enter setup number 2, and the wind's coming from the west. It's 2 degrees Celsius, and so we've circled around with the vehicle parked on the east side, and we're going to walk in with the rising sun behind us. It should be really good. We've got cattle in this setup, so we're going to have to be attentive to that. But let's go make something happen. You know it's going to be a great setup when I haven't even turned on the Fox Pro collar and there's coyotes already howling, and howling very close by, might I add, like maybe 500 yards away. Now all I had to do was let the Fox Pro weave its magic, and it would just be a matter of time before I had something in my vortex sights. But there was no denying that in the pack closest to me, it sounded like there was a dominant male in the pack, likely the alpha male. So finally, when the howling subsided, I decided to flip the Fox Pro to a couple of male howls, followed by a sequence of female submissive calls, and then quickly shut off the collar. Now Susan was filming about 20 yards behind me while standing on the edge of a fence line, and she had a better field of view since I was sitting at ground level. The next thing I knew, Susan was motioning to me that she could see the coyote off in the distance, and talk about a display of dominance as the alpha male let out a couple of big howls as if to say, "Here I am," and then proceeded to mark his territory. You heard curiosity kill the cat, right? Well, sorry to ruin it for you, but curiosity is about to kill this dog. As he finally decided to check out who the new female that was so-called howling in his area just a couple minutes earlier. I could finally see the tips of his ears, and he was quickly closing off the distance. And let me tell you, I was ready, as I knew this was going to be a close shot. All I had to do was quietly ease off the safety and wait for him to get into position, and then slowly squeeze the trigger. If you watch closely, you'll see how this alpha dog changes his demeanor as he crests the rise and sees me through the grass, but wasn't sure what I was. Let me tell you, I knew what he was, and the 22-250 was about to unleash a smackdown of epic proportions. That worked out really well. Now I see I got some fans behind me. I better go rescue my fox bro before they stomp it in the ground here. But you gotta love it when a plan comes together. Judging by where I see that coyote, he's probably not much under 100, that's for sure. Probably more like 80 yards. Nice and woolly. Let's see how far. 49 yards from the decoy. An 85-yard shot, so exactly what I thought. That Hornady Superformance sure did its job, put him down in one shot, just dropped like a sack of potatoes. So you always gotta like that, an empty cartridge and a down coyote. We're 1 for 1 in the shooting and 1 for 2 on our setups. First setup didn't work so well, but the second setup paid off. We got ourselves a nice fine male coyote, nice woolly, and it was really interesting on this one how we called him in. We came in just quietly and we did our setup, and then basically what we heard was some coyotes howling in the bush. So changed the game plan, and then we started using the male howl to kind of entice them and let them know there's a coyote in their area and see if they'd coyotes are very territorial, so that was our tactic. So then when we flipped the call to that male howling, we had coyotes howling on both sides of the road. We had 2 different packs going back and forth. They were so loud, in fact, they couldn't even hear our Fox Pro, I'm sure of it, because we were using rabbit calls and other distress calls and wasn't working. And then I realized, you know what, we're probably dealing with a male coyote that's very aggressive, probably the dominant one of the pack. So I flipped the switch to female subordinate howling, and I'm telling you, that's what did the trick. Susan was able to get my attention and told me she could see this coyote coming through the trees, and basically the rest is history. Within a couple minutes this dog went down, and as you can see from the crowd and the audience behind me, they are very thankful that they've got one less coyote to deal with. Let's load them up and get to the next setup. One thing's for certain, for the second weekend in November, it's like 5 degrees Celsius, and it's not often where I can hunt coyotes in a ball cap. But you know what? Us guys here in northern Alberta, we're not complaining, so we'll take it as it comes. So I don't know if you can see that here on the ground, but we got a whitetail scrape on the ground, and then right beside me we got a rub where a buck's been rubbing his antlers. So we're obviously in a good spot for deer, and where there's deer there's coyotes, and right behind us is a nice big solid block of bush about a half a mile by a quarter mile wide, and so it's about 5 degrees Celsius, wind from the west, and we're gonna see if we can put some fur on the ground. I forgot my spike for my decoy here, so I'm going to use some of these rocks, brace it in place. I got Ted, I got the Fox Pro, we got the bush right back here. Let's see if we can call one of them coyotes out. It's midday, it's around noon.
But you can call them out at any time of the day, so let's see what we can do.
Don't go away, we'll be right back for more action on Coyote Country.
Join Coyote Country on Facebook for live updates or check us out at coyotecountry.ca.
Gotta like that. Another empty shell. 2 for 2 on the shooting and 2 out of 4 on our setup, so we're batting 50%. But geez, this stand here, we weren't even here 5 minutes using the snowshoe hair, and 5 minutes in, all of a sudden I heard Susan behind me. She was standing up, so she had a better vantage point. I heard her giving me the old kiss, and out of the corner busted out this coyote, and hopefully you can be able to see it on the video, but was he ever, or she ever, zoned in on that decoy. And it just goes to show you the advantage of having that setup, because it takes their eyes and ears off of you. I was able to focus in, take my time, and made the shot count. The old super performance Hornadies came through again. I haven't even ranged the shot yet. A whopping 65 yards. So you gotta like that. We'll take those any day of the week, and really unique looking color on that coyote too. So let's go take a look. Another white coyote. Nice good size. Another male too. Right on, boy, are they sure woolly. Whew. This is why I love coyote hunting. You never know what you're gonna get. You never know what to expect. We weren't even here 5 minutes. Had the snowshoe hare distress call going, and this guy came out, and 65-yard shot, which is really lots for the 22-250, but put her down quick and humanely. So now we gotta drag this thing back to the truck. We're gonna have to go get the sled and on to the next one. So another coyote's gonna get a sleigh ride back to the truck. You know, they say we're getting an El Nino this year. I kind of wish we had the snow, because going back to get the sleigh and dragging these coyotes back is kind of a pain in the butt, but at the same time we're getting this unseasonably warm weather. So anyways, onward and upward.
Our fifth setup of the day was around mid-afternoon, and I had decided to do a setup where I'd harvested coyotes over the past few years. The conditions were perfect, so we snuck in quietly on foot, got all set up with the cameras, got some distances with my rangefinder, and the only thing left to do was turn on the Fox Pro with snowshoe hare in distress and patiently wait. It's a good thing that patience isn't a big virtue of mine, as I bet you we didn't have the Fox Pro going for more than 3 minutes or so when I spotted this coyote come charging in. It's always a gamble when muting the speaker, as you can see how quickly this coyote put the brakes on. But luckily enough, this coyote just stood there deciding what to do next, and that was all the time I needed to make my decision.
That's how we do it on Coyote Country, I'm telling you. 3 minutes with the Fox Pro on snowshoe hare in distress, and it didn't take long before we had a victim come in. I saw him poke his head in at the fence, and I'm telling you, he was coming so fast. You could see he was zoned in on the decoy. I actually muted the speaker because I thought he was just gonna come charging in, and I didn't want things to get too wild on us. So anyways, probably, I'm guessing, 135 yard shot. One shot drop with the 22-250. And like they say, the rest is history. We got a dog down. Let's go. Looks like another nice white woolly dog down. Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, first female of the day. There's not a lot to say on this setup. Things happen so fast. But you know, we've been hunting coyotes for a few years now, and things like this seem easy, but really a whole bunch of factors had to come together to make it all work. You know, the coyote, you gotta fool its eyes, its ears, and its nose. And so we're wearing good camo, we're sitting still, we're setting up in great habitat. You know, and you use things to distract them. You got Ted, and then we got our Fox Pro, and then we got our other decoy that offers some motion. So you put all those three together, and I'm telling you, you saw it on the video, like the coyotes zoned right in. On all three setups today, all coyotes came in, they were zoned in, they knew that there was something there, and then we paid them all, obviously the ultimate surprise. So. But we might be able to get another stand in here before the day's out, so let's get the sleigh and pack this dog out. Actually, would you be able to zoom in kind of here and then pan out?
Coyote. Where? He's watching us. Where?
Oh, I see him, I see him.
We can't shoot him here.
Yes,
Permission.
this is Walters.
He's coming.
Is he filming?
I can't move. He's standing on his hind legs. Oh, he's going.
Now, can you believe this? I don't even want to hazard to guess what the odds are of this, but here we are trying to do a grand finale wrap-up, and this guy decides to come poke his head over the hill and see what all the commotion is about. Well, Mr. Coyote, you picked the wrong crowd to mess with today. But first things first, what you don't see on camera is that I had to extend both my bipod legs and do a complete 180-degree turn without spooking the coyote. Luckily, Susan was facing the coyote and she could give me the play-by-play on when or when not to move. Now with Susan's guidance, I was able to make a quick 180-degree spinorama, put down the bipod, and since the Fox Pro was shut off, I did my best kiss of death imitation in order to stop the coyote before I lowered the boom.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We're doing a wrap up. We're trying to do the wrap up, and Susan's like, there's a coyote behind you. Yeah, whatever. No, there's a coyote behind you. That's why you always have shells on you. I guess I'll go add them to the collection. What a way to end the day. That's what you call unbelievable. I still can't believe that really happened. Wrap up, take 2, Coyote Country, November 7th. Well, I still can't believe that just happened, but anyway. Got 4 dogs down. What a great way to end the day. Not sure if you can see on my stock here, but I had 5 Hornadies that were filled this morning, and now I got 4 empty ones. So, and if you look below, there's 4 dead dogs. So that's how we roll here on Coyote Country. It helps that you got the right ammo, the right caliber, and of course we got the Vortex scope, the 6x24 50. And before we wrap things up, we'd like to thank a couple groups of people. The first being our sponsors. Without their support, none of this would be possible. And then the second, folks, are the landowners. You know, without the landowners, we wouldn't have this opportunity to hunt the coyotes that we have a passion for. So we hope you enjoyed following us along on our coyote hunts, and we'll see you next time.
Coyote Country was proudly presented by CR Backwoods. Join us next week as we follow along Coyote Country team member Susan as she tries to fulfill her quest of harvesting a color-phased bear we've nicknamed King George.